Good evening, Patrick here. Eight Questions Swift, at Cheetah Will View, and welcome to the show. It is Wednesday, and we are now live, and we will be talking with our returning guest. Douglas Epps will be here in about 10 to 15 minutes. It's been a while since we've had Douglas on the show. He was guest number 17 way back in the day, but we are glad to have him now as guest 326. Uh, I can promise you it won't be another 300 before we have him back on. I can tell you that. Hey, Jaden, how are you? How are you? Um, yeah, I'd like to know one thing from people who watch this on replay or in the chat or what have you. But I would really like to know who have been some of your favorite guests on the show. Which guest has really stood out with you, and would you like to see you come back? Um, I would really like to know that. If you want to drop a comment down below in the comment section, let me know who your favorite guest was, and we'll see if we can get them to come back to pay us a visit. Um, yeah, I've had a good day. Got some banners made up. Got some new shows on the books. But today is all about Douglas Epps, and I'm gonna save the story to how we met because it's one of my favorites, and it really just shows you just how cool of a guy that Douglas Epps is, and he's a very talented actor. He is very talented. Um, he has starred in some really well known horror films, such as Bone Hill Road and Clownado. He's also done other movies for Todd Sheets. He's popped up in Final Caller, Genie Purple Neon. So he's popped up in some really cool Todd Sheets movies. He's got some new series. He's got a new series that he popped in, and a couple of movies that are one is completed that we'll talk to him about called Hollywood Werewolf, and he's got one in post production. So hopefully it'll be released rather soon, and we'll talk about that. And that's Jekyll versus Hyde. That sounds cool as hell right there. That would be very interesting to me. So those are some things that we'll be talking about Douglas about. We'll talk about how he's been doing. I know that he's had some and he's made no bones about it. He's had some health issues, and we don't know. So we'll see how he's doing there. Hopefully he's rebounding. He seems to be rebounding pretty well. He's got a great attitude. He's always optimistic, and that makes him a lot of fun to talk with. Even if you're just talking online, you can sense a lot of the positivity coming from Douglas. Uh, through the chat that I have with him whenever we talk. All right. Hey, Mayanne, how are you? Uh, uh, yeah, glad you're here for this one. This one's going to be a lot of fun. Douglas Epps is going to be our guest, and he'll be here in about 10 minutes or so. Of course, this is going to be this is going to be the last show of the week. Tomorrow I got something planned. I will be back up tomorrow, but I'm going to save that because I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something I like to do, and I'll be back tomorrow and doing it. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I hope you guys will come out and join us too. Um, yeah. Okay. Great. I'm glad you're doing well. Um, well, I had a great talk with our friend Horror with Haas last night. If you missed that show, it's on replay now. What a nice guy too, John, as or Horror with Haas. What a really humble and really a fine human being he is. Enjoy talking film with him. We had some good laughs. We talked about collecting. You know collecting some boutique items and some of our favorite horror films. It's just all in all, it was a really fun discussion last night, and I really hope that you will take the time to go back there and support it, either watch or listen to it, or even better yet, even share it out because because Haas is a really nice guy. He really is. He's really quiet in our community, but he is really supportive, and he does a lot of what we do. He did Wild Eye Week, um, that was started up by Bronco Juggalo. He does Dollar Tree Theater, which is done by Hobbs. He does Wild Eye Wednesdays. And he's not afraid to do haul videos. He'll get out there and show us what he found. Sometimes it's boutique balas. But sometimes, or more often than not, it's Dollar Tree. He enjoys a good blind buy just as well as anybody else. So he is actually he reminds me of myself and the way I collect. Once in a great while, I'll get a boutique item, but most of the not, I usually get stuff for the best price possible. Uh, and blind buys. Definitely, we're big on blind buys because you just never know what you're gonna get, and look for the good sales. He mentioned how when MVD had one of their recent sales that he went over and jumped in and bought a lot of stuff for $1, $1.50 a piece, just a way to explore, new movies that he hadn't seen before. I totally am all about that. Um, in fact, that's how I end up finding. And sometimes you get movies sent to you. Um, I got a movie sent to me, and that's how I met Douglas. I met Douglas through Bone Hill Road, and so you just never know. A movie that you normally wouldn't think that you would buy or look at, you just never know what happens when you watch it. You could be seeing a new star. You could be becoming friends with a star. Or you could be interviewing somebody from the movie. You just never know. So that was a lot of fun last night. All right, let me go ahead and talk a little bit about the calendar. We do have one change. I'm going to be moving one date. I had to move a date in July from the 8th to whenever. I'm not sure where I'm going with this. I had a date on the 8th with Singer Iris, but I have to move it. But I'm going to let you guys know what's coming up in August. I'm going to just do that. Um, so August 1st, we are leading off with a double hitter. We will be talking to actress Katie Anna Lee will be with us at 2 o'clock on August 1st, Tuesday, August 1st. That will be our first time interviewing an actress from Slovenia. So I just reviewed my first movie from Slovenia, which was called The Slovenian Girl. There you go. Um, uh, Katie Anna wasn't in that movie, but it'll be my first time interviewing an actor from Slovenia. So I'm looking forward to that. As always, as we do interviews in Europe, we do one in the afternoon, early afternoon, and then we come back to our regular slot. And our regular slot will be with our good friend Tim, also known as Mo Bang for your buck. Tim is a van lifer, a very popular young man who's traveled 48 states, and his videos on how he gets his rig ready for travel for traveling wherever his journeys take him, are a lot of fun and really highly educational. I've been wanting to interview Tim for quite a while now, so I'm able to say that I finally got him on the show. So this will be a lot of fun, and that will be on August 1st, Tuesday. Wednesday, August 2nd, we will be talking to actor Max Woltendijk. I hope I'm saying that right, Max. Woldendijk. He is one of the two actors from this fantastic new movie that I just recently reviewed called Brightwood. Brightwood is my favorite movie of the year. That is my probably right now. If the year ended right now, that's my number one film of the year. It is an amazing piece of cinema. Amazing. It is so cool and trippy and interesting and dark and funny and haunting. Um, and he will be our guest on August 2nd at 8 o'clock. Thursday, we are bringing back music to Eight Questions with. That's right. we will be talking to the duo, the Centaurettes will be here with us at 8 o'clock. They hail from St. Louis. Now, think about that. We've had some St. Louis musicians on here. In fact, we had one recently named Rachel Deshane, who let me know, and I mentioned it yesterday. I'll mention it today. She is dropping a new single, Get Out of Soho. She's dropping a new single on July 22nd. That'll be on her Spotify. When it drops, I'll get the information and put it on her interview, and I'll be relaunching the interview again. So I'm really happy to have the Centaurettes will be here. Baya and David will be here. Hey, Echo. Uh, and I will have a special co-host for that night. I will be joined by Ant from Ant Review Things and the Friendly Men podcast. And Ant will be here with me to co-host that interview. Hi, Jennifer. How are you? Yes, our guest should be here. Douglas Epps should be here in about about 5 minutes or so. And of course, Jennifer here, Jennifer at home. She will be our guest. Her and her husband Alan will be our guest on Saturday the 29th at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. And Jennifer and her husband are absolutely lovely people, and they run a great YouTube channel, and is one of the fun. It's actually one of the most calming, most relaxing channels that you want to watch. When I think of Jennifer and Alan, I think this is what YouTube should really be about. Um, it's really calm, peaceful, energetic. It's fun. They explore things together. Quite honestly, I see a lot of myself with my wife in Jennifer and Alan. That I see a lot of us in them. Um, so I would definitely recommend you guys all come over and visit and come visit us as we interview Jennifer and her husband. Oh, no problem, Jennifer. Yeah, I still got to go watch your garage declutter video. I got to watch that. I love the closet. The closet was amazing, and yeah, you guys went to town. Uh, all right. So on the 4th of August, a Friday, we will be welcoming in makeup artist and small business owner Darlissa Ebeling will be here with us. Not only is she a special makeup artist for film, but she runs her own business, Love Ammo LLC, and she makes molds. She makes figurines. She works with skulls. She works with resin epoxies. It's an amazing. Her work is amazing. She's a fantastic artist, and she'll be here with us on Friday the 4th. Uh, and then on the 9th of August, on the 9th, we will have Jessica Cameron come by. Actress Jessica Cameron will be here with us. She is a lovely actress who's done a lot of fun films, and she's one of the nicest people and one of the coolest interviews I've seen in a while. She was on House of Horrors a couple of months ago, and wow, just yeah, I knew we had to have her come over here and talk with us. And she's got a lot of cool movies that are coming out, and her attitude toward movies and physical media is such a breath of fresh air. And I do hope that you will come out and support that interview on August 9th at 8 p.m. And then on August 10th, Thursday, we have actress Kelly Pulling will be here with us. Kelly is not only she a top-notch actress, but she has a hidden talent. She has a hidden talent that we'll be talking about. It's amazing. It's an amazing talent. I've known Kelly for a while now, and I know what it is. And you're partly right, Mayanne. Actually, you're partly right about that. What you just showed up, you're partly right about that. That's half her talent. Uh, and Kelly will be with us on the 10th of August at 8 p.m. All right. We'll just keep rolling on here. We'll keep rolling on here. Let's see. Make sure that our buddy is okay. One second, real quick. Make sure he's all right. I think this happened last time too. The time difference. I think the time difference got him. But let me ping our good friend Douglas here. Uh, all right. Make sure that I didn't miss him pinging me. Did not. All right. Make sure he's all right. All right. Let's see. All right. So he's an hour behind me. I think I said this, I think this might have happened to us last time. I don't know. I have to go back and watch it. Hey Snow, how are you? How are you? Yeah, we have a lot of fun interviews coming up. I'm pretty happy with it. Uh, so working hard, you know, trying to do a nice mix of, doing a couple of YouTubers. Oh, I'm sorry, Snow. Hey, that's all right. Life comes first, right? That happens. Uh, so hopefully everything is going well. Things are settling down for you. Um, yeah, it's it's been lately it's been a little rough. But you know what? I got the cure for that. I got the cure for bad times. I got two words for bad times, and that is Douglas and Epps. So let's go get them. Oh, okay. Let me. Oh, he. I might have to reopen that. Okay. All right. So I have a little bit of trouble. I might have to send him another link. Let me go get one just in case. Let me go get one just in case. Because you know how that it's not I think it's been like since I've had tech issues. I think it's been like a week. That's like a record for me. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Let me go ahead and
Try resetting it. It's saying that, well, it's saying that my browser is blocking it. I sent the link to Sheila, but she's having trouble finding her Instagram. Well, she probably deleted it. My browser is blocking it.
all right. So this might work. All right. Let's see. Ta-da, ta-da. We'll see if this works. Yep. You know how StreamYard is. It's not an adventure. It's not an adventure unless something goes goofy. Hey, She Marlos. Let's see. Let's see. Watched Scream 20 times. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of times to watch Scream 6. Oh, okay, so he's on a phone. Oh, let's see. Yeah, that's one thing about Chrome. It's like when you host a stream, you're good. When you're a guest, sometimes Chrome will block your play, block your camera and your microphone. So you have to go up and open it using Chrome. So I'm telling this to Douglas right now, and they're using a phone, so it might take a couple of minutes. It happens. Ugh. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Hey, Steven, how are you? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I don't think it's a problem, Stephen, when you use a Chromebook. I think you can open a StreamYard perfectly fine. I think it's when you use an Android or a cell phone in general. I think that's what happens. Because I know that if I get invited as a guest on a stream and I go through my phone, I have to go through Chrome. I can't just go to my StreamYard and go through. It won't let me. So I have to go through Chrome for that. It has been a while since we talked to Douglas, so I'm not really sure how we did it last time. Um, so right now his partner is getting her phone up and running. So so hopefully he can make this work. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. It tells them that it won't let you use StreamYard like you're hosting. It's sort of weird. Hmm. Oh. boy. All right. It looks like they're gonna have some tech problems. Might not be able to fix that. Let's see. Hold on. I can't see what he's saying. All right, hold on here. Let me see if I can help him out. Hmm. Okay.
Hey, hey.
Hey.
Huh.
McGruber.
Yeah, that was quite the ordeal.
Yes, wasn't it? I want to get that. I want to have to get that sound bite like for that. Like whenever this happens, I just want to be able to hit that button and then have it up there. McGruber.
Well, yeah, it didn't show me a Chrome link until I kept clicking on that one thing, and then it finally showed me the Chrome link. It's like, you bastard.
Yeah, it's weird how StreamYard does that. It's like when I host, like right now, I'm using my phone and I'm able to go through with no problem. But if someone actually asks me to go as a guest, like if you ask me to go as a guest, I have to go through Chrome to open it up in order to be able to do that. I just can't go through my normal process that I do when I use StreamYard.
I
So
couldn't find the thing up in the upper right corner that you mentioned that you was talking about. I couldn't. Yeah.
yeah, that's upper. If you hit the upper right hand corner and you click on the little three dots, it'll drop down a menu, and on that menu it says Open in Chrome, and then you hit that, and that goes you right. It takes you right through.
Well, computers are not my friends, so.
I know. Well, we know what your best friend is. I think last I looked, it's still werewolves, isn't it?
No, fuck werewolves, stupid flea bags.
Oh yes, that's right. Yes, you have all sorts of misadventures on social media. Why did they what I don't know. I never asked you, but I've followed you and you've had so many misadventures. What causes that? Are you crushing Trumpers? Is that what's causing a social media to get after you a little bit?
Am I what?
Are you crushing Trumpers? Is that the reason
Yeah.
why Facebook is banning you?
No, no. Uh, banned. No, I haven't been banned. I do get into it with Trumpers. I get into it with anyone who's into politics. I am not a political guy. You do not want to talk politics with me. As far as I'm concerned, they've all done something wrong to get to where they're at. They're all criminals. They all probably need to be taken and charged with something.
Yeah.
All of
I'm down with that. I'm okay
them.
with that.
I am not a political person. I think right wing, left wing, same bird.
So but how did that happen? Because I'm thinking to myself, I'm going like, he's hanging out in movie groups all the time. I can't imagine him going out into a political group to get in any sort of debate. So what do? They just find you and or do they post something stupid or?
Uh, if you're referring to that whole Joe Bob page incident, yeah, let's get into that nonsense. No, that idiot was a photographer that Sheila and I paid his way to California. I won't mention names for libel reasons, of course. But you know who I'm talking about. You saw the page on Joe Bob's page. If anyone wants to go look, they can see who I'm talking about too. This this arse. He's a weasel. He works his way into people's lives with lies and just lies and some talent, but mostly lies. And that's what happened with me. So I see him on social media. He seems like an okay person. Maybe has some issues, but everyone deserves a chance, right?
Sure.
So he's a photographer. Sheila and I had just done Dreaming Purple Neon, and we thought it would be fun to take a photographer with us to LA and have him take pictures of the entire premiere thing, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So we paid for his room and most of his meals until I got tired of him. There came a point during the trip where I stopped trusting the dude, and I was right to. I didn't trust him to begin with because I took all the same pictures that we was having him take. I took them all on my phone just because I didn't have that trust with him, because I didn't know him fully or at all, really. I mean, it was just the guy who I had met on Facebook and took to California because he said he was a photographer. So
Yeah, so we took him to California, and I learned what I learned what kind of a person he was there. Uh, and when I got back, I did tell everyone that he was a poisonous person and to stay away from him. And before I knew it, that little freak was in all of my friends lists. He was one of these locusts who send you a friend request, and then they go to your friends list, and the next thing you know, they're popping up
Oh my God.
all of their posts.
That happens right now.
Yeah.
That Facebook is like that right now.
Oh, I hate it.
Oh, Douglas, man, I never used to have anybody come to me to send me friend requests. Nobody, because who the hell am I, right?
Right?
I was always sending out friend requests to people who I've got to know. All of a sudden, every day, all day, I get an average of 3 to 5, and they're always they have 46 mutual friends, Facebook
Yeah,
friends.
right.
I'm looking at them going like, I don't know you from Adam. But
Okay.
it looks like you rated my friends page is what it looks like,
There's a scam going around right now where they send you the Facebook message, and then they start putting these stupid things up on their Facebook page, like, "Hey, I'm giving away a brand new Camaro, 2023 Camaro, to the first person who can spell duh, or the
Right.
first person who can find this number out of a list, or the first person who can find a different number than 6 out of a whole page of 6s, and there's like 1 7." It's like people are not that stupid, are they? And sure as shit, you got people in there 7 7 7. It's like, oh my God, seriously, people, you're not going to get a damn car off of Facebook. That's not how life works.
No.
Yeah, so,
I have not had that happen to me yet. That part I have not happened.
yeah,
All I know is like I just get a lot of friend requests, and I go through them, and I'm like, because I understand doing this show here has opened up the door slightly. Like some people actually do know me from this show,
right.
so but not enough to send me 3 to 5 friend requests every single day. I'm not that well known, and then I just sit there and say, how do we know each other? And I don't get any response. I give it 24 hours for them to respond back. How do we know each other? If you don't, then you're gone.
That's what I need to start doing. I need to start making that extra step. Like Joe Castro does that. If you send Joe Castro a friend request, he's like, "Who are you, and how do I know you, and what do you want?"
Exactly.
And I need to start doing that too, because I will just look over. I'll look at their page. I'll open it up. I'll look at their page, and if they don't have any of that bull crap, hey, win a car, then I'll go ahead and accept their friend request. But yeah, I really need to start grilling these people and finding out, how do you know me? Do you know me? Have you watched a single movie I've goddamn been in?
Yeah. Ask them that. Ask them, what movie have I been in? And the thing is, you give them 24 hours, or even better, if they make contact with you, like, hi, how do you know me? If they respond right away, that's when you hit them with the movie question. Because it's just social media now. It's just it's great for promoting. Like today, now we're gonna talk about your films that you've been in. It's perfect for that.
Yeah.
But like I said, lately it's been weird on Facebook. It's like that, friend requests, and it's like sometimes I'll look at those pages too, and I'll see, okay, I can see they're talented. I can see that they have a movie database page, and they have a body of work. But there's some people absolutely with nothing, and I'll sit there and say, how do I know you?
Yeah.
And especially when they don't even bother introducing themselves after they sent me a friend request. It's like, wait a minute, you sent me a friend request, I accepted it. Now you're not talking to me? You're on.
Man, you're gonna have me deleting a bunch of people now.
Yep, I'm gonna be going through mine and to delete. I'm gonna do one of those. I'm gonna do those ones that say, how do we meet? And then have it out there and have people tell me how we met.
Same knuckle bumps.
Yeah. But you know what? That's a perfect segue, because I love this story. This is one of my favorite stories since I've been doing this, as how you and I met. Echo is saying he deletes random friend requests the moment I get them. Yeah, and let's see. Does Douglas Epps knows I've been a fan of his since Clownado and Bone Hill Road? He does now.
Thank you.
Let's see. Let's see. Oh yeah, don't tell spoilers on any movies. But I haven't. Wait a minute. But hasn't Scream 6 been out enough?
And Bone Hill Road, I'm the hero of the movie. Now, a lot of people don't see it that way. I'm telling a spoiler, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm gonna get this in while I've got the chance. A lot of people don't see me as the hero, but I am a hero in that movie. I was a wildlife expert. I was a tour guide giving directions. I was just trying to have a nice dinner with friends, and that awful woman and her awful daughter came over with their fur bags. It was terrible. I mean, they ruined everyone's dinner. It was awful. They are the villains. That evil little girl and her twisted, evil, blonde-headed mother.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Me and Douglas, we actually, that's how you and I met. We met after I had reviewed Bone Hill Road, and you came by and you commented that thank you for the review, and you were so nice in saying it because it was not one of my favorite movies. But it had been. I remember that. But it had been tempered because I had the good fortune of watching the special features first. So I watched the documentary of how the movie was made. Love Todd. Todd, nicest guy on the planet. Seriously. Watched the movie. Was blown away going like, how the hell does a nice guy like that make a movie like this? It blew me away. It blew me away.
That's what Todd said originally. He says, okay, man, you're a really nice guy, and we're going to take that and we're going to make people look at you differently. We're going to really turn it on its head. And he just kept going on about how people weren't going to look at me the same after this movie. And it's like, okay, yeah, that sounds fun. Cool. Let's do it. And he was right. I mean, people didn't want to sit next to me in the theater for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you play such an interesting character. I mean, I think what really makes your role so effective is that you could be anybody. You could be anybody. If someone walking by the street, because think of all the villains, right? All the villains, all the killers, they always are distinctive. They always are big, or they're burly, or they have scars on their face. I mean, you would walk by you in the middle of the street and not even giving you somebody could walk by you in the street and not even give you a second glance.
I might bully me.
Huh?
I might bully me.
You know what though? I mean, I'm just thinking to myself, to me, it's like, you'd be like, I just rewatched the Murder of the Orient Express, the 1974 version. You would be one of those people that no one would even suspect to be a killer. There's just no way in hell. That guy, no way. I'm gonna choose Sean Connery because it's James fucking Bond, right? No one's gonna choose Douglas Epps, and that's what made Bone Hill Road really snap, crackle, and pop, as far as that goes. And then you came back and you did that in Clownado. You're like, here you are, you're the quiet, unassuming guy. Of course, you had a really intense stare, but still, you think not this guy. He's harmless.
In that one, I wish Todd would have gone with the original idea for that one, because originally my character was obsessed with Queen Amidala. I don't remember who played her in Star Wars, but he was obsessed with that girl. And the original idea was that he would have the Queen Amidala girl's picture all over the place from Star Wars, and this girl looked enough like her that he started stalking her. And I think that would have been fun, because I could have started using Star Wars hashtags on all of the Clownado promotions.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. But you still got to use Shark. Did you guys never use Sharknado? The hashtags? Did you use Sharknado? Sharknado first, Sharknado then Clownado?
Well, no, we never really had to, because we had people actually did that for us. There were several people who did these weird little polls, like, what do you want to see more, Sharknado or Clownado? And Clownado beat them. But then again, I was responding to people, so that gave interaction from the Clownado side. There wasn't anyone from the Sharknado side interacting with the fans. And good Lord, the fact that we beat them, that we beat Sharknado in every poll is pretty amazing, because Sharknado had a $2 million budget. Clownado had a $17,000 end budget, but all that takes into account all of the DVDs that were printed, all of the Blu-rays that were printed, all of the shirts, the shipping. That $17,000 is coming down. And the $17,000 didn't even come in, honestly, until after we had a movie. I was watching the page on this thing, and it was we topped out at like $7,000. And it wasn't until we had like the proof of the movie that's everyone's like, oh, okay, well, let's buy in to Clownado. And that's when it boosted up to the $17,000. But originally, for the entire filming of that thing, Todd had $7,000 to work with, and the rest of it came in later. So that was pretty incredible that he pulled off what he did, the way he did it. And there's a lot of people who complain about about shipping problems on Clownado and the Indiegogo, but a lot of these people changed addresses or became homeless, or some of them, I'm pretty sure they were flat out lying. And hey, man, on my package never showed up, so Todd would send him out another package and take the money out of his pocket. And yeah, so I'm sure that $17,000, by the time all of the campaign was done and all the stuff was sent out, that $17,000 was probably more like 8, 9. Well, like I said, the entire movie was already done. Todd just after the $7,000 mark, and the money started coming in, Todd just used that for the special effects that he could use it for, and get those in. Making a tornado, it turns out, costs like $800 to get the software for that. So it goes quick.
It does go quick, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Echo is Steven mentioned that Natalie Portman played Princess Ardala. Yep.
Thank you.
Echo says he says, I like how Linnea Quigley plays a character named Spider in Clownado, the same name her character used in Sorority Babes of the Slimeball Bolorama. That might not be a coincidence. That might not be a coincidence. Is that the same? Is she the same Spider from the Sorority Babes?
No, she's the same Spider from Night of the Demons.
Oh.
In Night of the Demons, that character was named Spider, and she had an S on her arm. And basically, we brought her back and showed that, hey, everything's fine in Spider's life now, not possessed anymore, and she owns a bar. Yay, go Spider! So yeah, we gave Spider the rap she deserved.
Can that happen? I mean, if you contacted the producers of that movie and say, hey, we'd like to go ahead and borrow your character, we have the original actor to do it. Can we go ahead? Can you?
Todd's friends with him. Todd is close personal friends with him.
Yeah. So you could actually do that. That's so cool. So cool. You can cross over a character like that. I wish more movies did that.
Yeah. Hollywood is a weird place, and relationships can be weird in Hollywood. So, actually just in entertainment in general. I'm sure that Georgia has the same issues with weird, flaky people.
Well, right now, I mean, yeah, we talk about Georgia being a hotbed of entertainment, but aren't you still based in Missouri?
Yes. Georgia needs to do better. Georgia, I'm addressing Birdville right now. You need to do something about Birdville. Quit dumping your damn dogs off in Birdville. You're making people cry. You're breaking the animal rescuers. Stop dropping off your animals in Birdville.
Is that a town that people are dropping? Oh, that's right. You're into animal activism.
Kind of. Yeah, I can't say no because I tried to save a cat in Texas. Well, the cat's doing fine in Texas. I didn't need to save the cat in Texas. The cat is fine on his own. The cat has 15 applications for him, so that cat's fine. But I did save a dog in Georgia from this Birdville place by reaching out to animal rescue advocates over there, and a wonderful woman named Tanya Fraser. She's the one who pointed out that this animal was needing help. Then I was able to reach out from Kansas City all the way to Georgia to help this dog, and you couldn't even tell what the dog was. And after the dog got some TLC for about 2 or 3 months, finally it was revealed that she was a chow, and you could not tell that. It was so sad, but yes, animal activism, spay and neuter your pets, please. Animal rescuers are breaking up there.
What's that say? Adopt, don't shop.
Yeah. I mean, yes, absolutely. Here in Missouri, we have like way too many puppy mills. I think we're like the puppy mill kings here in Missouri, and those places just need to be shut down. Lene quickly does a lot in animal rescue. I don't know if you know, but she has Moulin Rouge. That is what her facility up in the California mountains is called, that she does rescuing animals at. So
who does this?
Linnea Quigley.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I had heard that she was a huge animal activist, and that's one of the reasons why she's still working. She goes and does these movies, so she raises money for her rescue. She's all about her animals.
She is wonderful. Yeah, she's definitely one of my She's definitely one of my favorite people to work with because I had a crush on her as a kid from watching Return of the Living Dead, and who didn't? And now I've worked with her 3 times. My latest time was in Terror Toons 4, where I played the evil Dr. Carnage. This makes the second time that Linnea has been my victim. She wasn't my victim in Clownado, so she lucked out there. But in Bone Hill Road, she was my dinner guest, loving dinner guest. And in Terror Toons 4, she was kind of an experiment for me.
Experiment, yes. And Bone Hill Road, that was the scene that got you and I. That's how you and I met, because of that scene with Linnea. Man, I was just like, no, just no. And then
let me tell you about
no spoilers.
No spoilers.
Bone Hill Road is out on Wild Eye. If you want to see what we're talking about, you can go ahead and get a copy of Bone Hill Road. But I saw that scene and I'm going, oh, just no. And then you and I talked about it, and you said how much fun you had. Of course, Dylin came on and told me and said how nervous you were for your scenes with Dylin.
Oh, my God, so nervous. I mean, Linnea is the ultimate in ultimates, okay? And I had a crush on her. So when you do watch Bone Hill Road, just know that when I'm in scenes with her, everything that we're doing together is initiated by her. She's the one throwing me around, not the other way around. She was in control. So just, remember that when you watch Bone Hill Road. And I was so appreciative of that.
Did that help you relax, letting her decide, let her initiate? Yeah.
I was so appreciative of that because Bone Hill Road was my first real role, role at all. I mean, I was also in Zombie Rampage, but I was a background character in that who died twice. Actually, I'm pretty sure the bullet just grazed me once. And then have you seen Zombie Rampage 2?
I have not seen Zombie Rampage 2, but I am aware of people dying multiple times in the same movie.
That movie is great. I mean, that movie has so much fun and quirky stuff. It is worth it to go revisit Zombie Rampage 2. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm trying to get Todd to greenlight Zombie Rampage 3 because of the what we got going on. I just think it would work well. I can't give any details, but I am trying to get Todd to greenlight Zombie Rampage 3.
What has happened to Todd? Is he still active? Because I was, because I'm always expecting whenever he does a new movie. There's two things I immediately think about right away. Is like for every Todd Sheets movie, I'm expecting to see you and Diane in it every movie, and I have not seen anything from Todd in quite a while. So, is he still working? Is he still active, or is he's been really quiet since the pandemic has ended?
No, Todd is hard at work. I mean, since the pandemic hit, we did TNT Jackson, and that was just a monster of a shoot because it was 6 episodes. So, and we had such incredible times on that set.
I'd like your character's name. Who did you play on TNT Jackson?
I played Jimmy the Pimp.
So I saw that. I laughed. I go like, you know what? Oh my God, that's gonna be. I'm sure. Did you get some fly clothes on? And sort of like Fly Guy from I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker.
It was such a fun role to play. I'll tell you that. I mean, Jimmy's in I think 4 out of 6 episodes. So I'm pretty, or three or 4 out of the 6 episodes. So I'm pretty happy with Jimmy's appearances in it.
Yeah.
And God knows there could be a TNT Jackson season 2 if enough people want it, and that one will be in space. So you'll see Jimmy the Pimp in space.
I heard it's on Tubi and it's doing pretty well. I mean, it's getting a lot of views. I know Dylan had mentioned it and she promoted it, and I know you've been promoting it as well. It seems to be doing pretty well. I've been hearing a lot about it. Do you have any idea how well it's been being received?
I do not. I'm all over the interwebs, and anytime anyone mentions TNT Jackson, I'm right there telling them about this new television series. So how it's being received, I'm not quite sure, but I am making sure that people know about it as much as I can.
Yeah. That's one thing I have to say. As to any producer or director who wants a stalwart and well-respected horror icon actor, and Douglas, to hire him for any role, because not only are you getting a talented actor, but you are a promo machine. I mean, I always thought, okay, some actors will do that, they'll get out there, they'll promote their movie, and for a while, but then it'll fade away, and then it's like forgotten. You, on the other hand, you are always promoting the movies that you're in. Even today, you still do that. You promoting Bone Hill Road. That came out in 2017. Yet today, you'll push it out like it just came out yesterday.
Hell yes, I will promote everything that I'm in, because why are we even doing this? Making movies is hard. I don't understand the mentality that a lot of people seem to have. They do a movie, do all the lines, do all the work. Movies are hard. I'll say that again. They do all the work. Then when the movie is it's time for the movie to come out, they go silent. They may post once or twice on their page about the movie, and then they just go silent about it. It's like, why? Why are you missing the fun part? The fun part is interacting with fans. That's how we met. The fun part is the interactions. I mean, the reason we made it off so well is because I recognize that not every movie is for everyone. And right. I respect people's opinions about movies. It may not be for you, but heck, at least you gave it the chance and you watched it.
I did. I made it almost all the way through. I almost did. It helped. It helped that I watched. It really did help that I watched the documentary first. It really did, because I mean, I knew just watching that I might not have. The movie was not for me, but Todd Sheets definitely was for me, because I was just so impressed with how many people rallied for him and or supporters of his, and he's such a nice guy, and it's just like, I was really impressed with that. That's what made it. It made it's so interesting to me. It's like, you see that nice guy, and it's the last thing you think of him putting out a movie like that. You just don't. There's such a mind blowing moment in that. Like, he did that. what makes it more effective.
Well, you know, he does have the moniker, the Prince of Gore.
Does, but TNT
Yeah.
though, that's more like it's in a throwback to the 70s, right? The
Yeah,
Black
well,
History.
it was a moniker they gave him in like the 80s, 90s. Yeah, when he was filming the original Zombie Rampages and all of those. And
Do you think he's just maturing now? I mean, TNT Jackson's not a gore fest. It's a crime. It's a
God no,
crime.
he's every bit the child that I am. We're like two kids. We both get in trouble by our ladies. For we both love our collections. We both love our movies. Uh, Todd is very much a kid at heart, and that's probably where we click, is because we're both kids at heart. And
Mm.
yeah. So
Yeah.
has he matured? No, Todd's probably gone backwards a little bit, just a little bit. But
I have to say you have not though, because you've had some bumps since we last talked. I mean you're not shy about it. You posted it on your social media. You've had some health issues. Are you getting any better from that, or is this going to be a chronic thing for you?
if I can quit hating myself, it's always been a chronic thing for me. I'm a second-degree black belt, and I swear at one point I was keeping a brace company in business. I was buying a new brace for this or that, my ankle, my wrist, my knee, my elbow. Then you'd have to get the more protective wristband or knee brace or whatever. Then you'd have to get the even more advanced one. So yeah, my sensei used to always say, we need to wrap you in bubble wrap. And that was a comment that was made just recently about all the injuries I've been having now. So, but yeah, I think I'm almost through them. I did manage to break my ankle, my tibia.
Oh, how'd you do that?
Well, God, man. So I was drinking a Slurpee at Quick Trip. Okay, you get your Slurpee, and you fill it up, and it's coming out the top of it. So oh God. So you suck it off, like I guess that I licked so much of it off that I got brain freeze, and it was really bad. But the headache just hit me so bad. I'm like, ah. And at one point, the headache subsided, and I thought, wow, that was a bad one. And that was the last thought that I had. The next thing I know, I'm waking up on the floor. There's blood on the floor, and some guy saying, hey, buddy, are you okay? And I'm like, what? Did I just pass out? He's like, yeah, you just went straight down. And when I went down, I'll show you. This is what I use. I have severe arthritis in my ankle, so I have to use this on my leg to walk correctly. And when I went down, apparently that kept me from breaking my leg even worse. I mean, all the doctors are like, "Oh, you would have probably broke the entire thing if you hadn't been wearing that brace." It's like, so, but it's weird. I would have expected that brace. This thing is hard. I would have expected that to keep my ankle safe, not break my tibia.
Right. Now, do you have brittle bone disease or anything like that, or is it?
No, I just got bad luck disease.
Oh my gosh, that's just crazy. I never heard anybody breaking a leg of drinking a Slurpee, but I you know what? Why not? Why not? So it has to happen to somebody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, how the hell did
So
that
if
happen?
you Google, can I die from drinking a Slurpee? Google's going to be like, no, dumbass. You might get brain freeze. It's going to hurt a little bit, but you're going to be fine. You're not going to die from brain freeze. Okay, I'm here to tell you, everyone, listen. This depends on how tall you are. The taller you are, the harder you fall. If you're like 4'11", you're going to be fine, probably.
Right.
If you're 6'2", you're in risk of yeah, you could die. I mean, yeah, be careful. So
yeah. Look at the Mark Eaton. Mark Eaton was 7'3", 7'3", and what happened? He just fell off his bicycle and he died.
Jeez, who?
Mark Eaton. He's 7'3", played for the NBA.
Oh,
He was riding a bicycle and he fell off his bicycle and died.
holy crap!
Had a helmet on and everything, and he died. Yeah.
Yeah, I've still got the lump on my head from the hit. Lessons learned.
I'm going to catch up with our chat here real quick. Hi, Brene. How are you? Hi, Joseph. Glad you're here.
Hi, Joseph.
Bye, Sharmello. Thank you for coming out. I appreciate it.
Bye, Sharmello.
Yeah. That's crazy. Now that, and then you've had some heart problems, and you mentioned that, and you said I have to have stents on there, and I was concerned. I'm just sitting there like, man, it's just like, it's just this part of the movie. Was it, was this all reaction to the, making movies, or was just, like you said, bad luck? And it sounds like it was just bad luck.
Yeah, overall, well, it's bad genes. It's bad genetics. The doctors have told me that I really was screwed over in the gene pool, and I can safely blame everyone but myself. And this is from my doctors, and so I believe them on this count. So I'm just gonna blame all of my relatives. It's all your faults. Thank you for the bad genes.
Now, how does that affect you? Like, if you're going to go out to do another shoot for a movie outside of Todd, how does that affect you as far as being cast? I mean, is it none of, when people, because don't they have to insure you? And do you have to go through? Do actors have to go through physicals if it's like an action-paced movie? Do they actually?
No. With my heart stent and all my medications that they've got me on, I'm pretty convinced that they're trying to get me to live forever. So, yeah, there's no worries there. In fact, the movie that we're coming up to doing, if my leg heals in time, I hear is going to be pretty action packed. But yeah, I mean, Terror Tunes 4 had some pretty fun actiony scenes in it and running around. And let me tell you something. Let's talk about Terror Tunes first. Have we talked about Terror Tunes?
No, but we are now.
Oh,
I think I know some people in that movie.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
I want to say I know some people in this movie.
Well, Linnea in there.
Elissa is in there, and Big Mike Ferguson's in there.
Yes. Mike Ferguson played my henchman.
Nice. How'd you like working with Mike? How'd you like working with Mike? Prince of a guy, isn't he?
He's a cool fucking dude, for real.
He's way cool. He is wicked cool. Yeah, I love that guy.
And he's doing really well. He's really tearing it up. He's got such a distinctive look.
Yes, he really does. The Flood just opened up this week, so he's in that with Nikki Whalen and I want to say Louis Mandalore. I could be wrong with that. And Casper Van Dien. So he's in The Flood, and he's done a ton of shit down in Thailand. And yeah, that guy's crazy busy. And of course, like I said, I know Elissa Dowling. I know her. She's another. She's a huge animal rescuer advocate, by the way. All her animals are all rescued. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I still think she has her pet pigeon named Lou. Huh. She rescued a pigeon named Lou.
Somehow last year was a weird year because I rescued 3 birds in the middle of the road. I assume what happens is like they get too close to a car and the downdraft will bring the bird down and like smack the bird into the concrete. Because I would scoop up the bird, I would put it in my passenger seat, and after it was done looking around for a little bit and it was undazed, I would take it out and just let it go and it'd fly away. So yeah, real weird year on that one. At least 3 birds saved.
So let's talk a little bit about Terror Tunes. I mean, how did you get involved with the project? And you're playing Dr. Carnage.
So Terror Tunes, Joe surprised me with that one. I asked Joe. Joe, turn me into a rubber suit monster because you're like the king at it. So Joe says, "Yeah, I'll do that. I'll turn you into a monster." I expected us to walk down Hollywood Boulevard on Halloween sometime in some of his crazy costumes, but no. Instead, he calls me up one day and says, "Doug, I'd like you to be Dr. Carnage." He's like, okay. Here's my thing about that. That could have been the most expensive perk that Terror Tunes 4 had. Be Dr. Carnage, $5,000. I promise you, someone would have paid $5,000 to be Dr. Carnage. It would, and I got it. It's like, Joe, you're amazing. Thank you so much. And he's a character with a pretty huge following. I've had a lot of fun with Dr. Carnage on Twitter. You can't mention Terror Tunes or Dr. Carnage over there without Dr. Carnage coming in and replying to you and maybe asking you to come to his lab or something like that. Being Dr. Carnage,
I love so much how you promote. I gotta hand it to you, Douglas. When it comes down to promoting not only yourself but your peers and your movies, you definitely are top three. You definitely are top three as far as getting out there and promoting it, and not only just promoting what you're doing right now, but promoting stuff that you've done in the back. I gotta tell you, I have so much respect for you for doing that, because not only are you promoting yourself, but you're also promoting your castmates. You know, you bring out that you by talking about the movie, you also talk about your castmates, you talk about your director. I can't tell you how cool that is to me.
I'm not in this for myself. Okay, I mean, I'm having a lot of fun.
That's obvious, because you wouldn't. Yep, go ahead.
I don't have the Hollywood aspirations. I don't believe in the golden dream. I'm not going to make $1 billion, $1 million on a movie because, in my opinion, Hollywood is broken, and those roles go to people who already have money, people who don't have to show up to a 9-to-5 job and say have to work all day, and then after you work 9 to 5, go to a movie set and then work another 10 hours on top of that. I don't think Hollywood likes that kind of person. So they take the people out of the Hollywood Hills, or people who have a good chunk of money, people who are up there. And I think that those people get the really good roles in Hollywood. So I'm not going to try and fool myself. I am going to have fun with what's given to me. I'm going to promote the hell out of it because I'm in it. You're in it. We're all in it. We're all in this together. When I make a movie with someone, those people become my family. I've got so much family here in Kansas City now, in Florida, in LA. It's amazing having these people. Mike Ferguson, let me tell you his advice on Terror Tunes 4. He said, "You're Dr. Carnage. You're going to go in there with your dick swinging and you're going to show them that you're the top guy." I was like, oh, okay. That was his advice on Terror Tunes 4. It was pretty epic and surreal. And for the people who have never worn a rubber mask, monster mask, that is an experience.
Now, did you have to wear one, or did they make one for you?
Oh, well, they made it for me, for my head, for my dimensions. But let me tell you something. When you get behind a couple inches of foam rubber, and it gets claustrophobic really quick in there. You have to clear your mind. And I channeled Doug Jones, and I told Doug Jones this recently last week at Crypticon when he was here. I told him that during the Dr. Carnage stuff, when I was in the mask, I kept telling myself, be Doug Jones, be Doug Jones, be Doug Jones, because Doug Jones has been all of the great character monsters. Really? I mean, he really makes you feel for his monsters, and he's so zen about it. You know, his longest makeup job was like 7.5 hours sitting in a makeup chair. 7.5 hours.
Wasn't that for Hellboy?
I mean, it was either Hellboy or the Water movie that he was in.
Oh, yes.
The Water God character.
Yeah, Del Toro's movie, The Shape of Water.
Shape of Water, yes. That was a great... I loved that movie. I thought it was fantastic. Well done. Bit weird, but fantastic for what it was. And that rubber mask, it first off, it's hot because you're breathing inside of it. There's nowhere for it to really go. You've got a couple eye holes, I believe, that were in the nose that I was looking out. And
they don't give you like a straw or a mouthpiece that you can. I mean, to help get the air in through the back of the mask.
I don't really think that there's anything like that could have worked in this mask, and not alter my performance. But you're breathing that hot air back into you, and the mask is right there, and it's very claustrophobic in there if you've never done it before. And I had, so I just had to zen myself out, and I had to relax because you can feel trapped in there. It's real easy to feel trapped, and I did a couple times, and I just had to calm, zen myself out, just relax, and Popo is the one who had it really bad because his suit had fur all over it. I won't ruin any of the movie, but Popo, you did a damn fine job. I don't know if I could have done what you did. So anyway, you did fantastic.
How long could you last in a suit like that before you had to go off camera to get a breather?
Different. It depends on the action scenes. I do remember there was one time that I was getting so overheated so quick, but I think there was a dancing scene involved in that, and I don't think the dancing scene made the final cut, but I don't know. It may be in there. But there was a dancing scene where Dr. Carnage was getting out there and
I'm sorry, but if I had to wear that mask and I had to go through that, you better not cut any fucking scene. If I'm going in there sweating my balls, if I'm going in there sweating my balls off for you for an hour, I want me to be in every scene all the time. We had to cut that. You what? I'll show you cut. Come here. Here, where's that pizza slicer at? Now the Terror Tunes, that was an anthology film, wasn't it? So were you like the main character in that, or wasn't there different stories and you were in the wraparound, right?
It's an anthology. There's 4 or 5 different stories in it. I'm just part of one story, which is bringing back Dr. Carnage and giving him an updated origin story with new effects, and there are some wild segments. I recommend everyone watch Terror Tunes 4 because it is crazy. It starts crazy, it ends crazy, it's crazy all the way through. You get 2 different Dr. Carnages. If you don't like the new one, you've got the old one. And the old one is doing incredible stuff. If you're a fan of the old one, you definitely can't miss Terror Tunes 4. And if you're a fan of the old one, you might as well be a fan of the new one because I've taken over Dr. Carnage everywhere. So
who directed it? Who directed the
Joe Castro. Well, Joe Castro, Matthew Veneja, Steven Escobar did a lot because he was the editor of it. So those 3 worked in conjunction because Steven knew what he wanted for the edit. Joe knew the best shot for the effect, and Matthew brought it together.
Okay. It was good to bring back Dr. Carnage. Now, where Dr. Carnage been? Where he had popped up yet before for this movie?
Where's he popped out before this movie?
Yeah, was he an original character for this?
Yes, film? He was where it all started. Terror Tunes 1 was all about Dr. Carnage coming in, making a deal with Satan, and then coming into. She's a rescue.
How many dogs do you have?
Well, we have 5 right now because we're not supposed to have this one. But I found her and she was wearing this collar, and I thought I'd be able to find her people and I was never able to find her people, so I guess I own a pit bull now.
Be careful of that.
Yeah, I'm real. Here's the thing. Big Mama here is other dog aggressive. And
she is underdog aggressive?
Yes.
Oh boy.
You know what I would like to see for pit bulls that I'll say here? Okay. I wish pit bulls would become the most expensive breed of dog.
Yeah,
so
me too. Me too.
That way, not everyone can own a pit bull.
Yeah.
I saw a woman walking her pit bull without a leash the other day down a busy road by a freaking elementary school.
Yeah.
Now I've known a lot of pit bulls, and they can be sweet as hell, but I've also known that heat really seems to affect these dogs. There was one summer here that we had 10, 15 years ago, where every dog attack in the news was a pit bull attack, and it was this really, really hot year. And I swear the pit bulls were just out there with their brains boiling inside of their heads. Yeah, I'm talking about and I just don't think they're well suited for the heat, and there are too many irresponsible pit bull owners out there. I just think that if they became one of the more expensive breeds to own, that there would be less of them. I don't want their breed to be discontinued, because that's some Hitler ass shit right there. But I do think that they need to be controlled more, and they need to be taken out of the hands of irresponsible people.
I like how Australia handles their pit bull. Australia is if you have a pit bull or a dog like that, you have to go. It's almost like it's like learning how to drive. You have to go to driving school. You have to go to the DMV, and you have to prove that you can drive a car. In Australia, they did that with the dogs. You have to have your dog on like a 150-foot leash, and you have to be able to demonstrate that you can control your dog. If you can't, you're not allowed to have it.
I like that. I have seen far too many videos of people being jerked around by their dogs. Why a woman would walk two pit bulls that are half her size or combined her body weight, I have no damn idea. But I have seen that video at least 5 times.
Yeah, I've seen those videos too. I don't know. You know, anytime you go to animal shelter, that's what you see. You know, you go look at the dogs, and 9 out of 10 dogs is a pit bull. Every time, all the time. It's like, you know, you go there, like, I like to get a pug, or I like to get a German Shepherd, I like to get a Pomeranian. You're not. The only thing that a lot of these people have are just pit bulls. But I understand the rest. I just don't trust the breed of dog. I'll never own one, and I don't ever trust it. I know a lot of good pit bull owners, and I know a lot of them get vilified if their dogs go off. I don't think it's the owner. I think it's the breed itself. Okay. There's a lot of great dog owners, and you hear the neighbors sit there and say, I never saw it coming. You know, they took care of that dog. That dog loved them. You know, that dog was a good dog, and you never hear it coming. There wasn't, very rare do you ever hear, well, yeah, that dog was always messing around with somebody. Have you, since you're an advocate, or and you have been pretty vocal about that, Douglas, is that something you would think about doing in the future for yourself in between shoots? Would you consider doing a documentary about your rescue?
I mean, that would be fantastic, but I'm gonna be honest. I am the smallest hog in rescues around Kansas City. I am just the smallest of facilitators. There are so many wonderful people who out there. Positive Tells is one that I work with here in Kansas City. Wonderful organization. I couldn't do what I do without them, because financially I'm not rich.
Well, I mean, if you got out there and you filmed them doing what they're doing, you're doing your part. I mean, maybe you're not out there. Maybe you're not out there, putting a dog in a crate or a cat in a crate. But if you went out there as a filmmaker and you film what they were doing and how they were doing it, and the way you promote,
I think it's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, I do too.
Back to pit bulls real quick. People are stupid. The it's right there in the name, pit bull. These dogs were made by us. They are our mistake. They are our responsibility. We put them here on this planet because we're assholes who wanted them for our entertainment to throw into a pit with a bull so that the pit bulls could bet on who would win. 1, 2, 3, 4 pit bulls against a bull. So these dogs are 100% our problem. And that's how I feel about them.
I think that I think we tend to we breed like I see. To me, one of the more upsetting things I see is when people breed cats, where they have their legs are this big. A cat's not designed to have legs this small.
Have you heard of slinky cats?
No.
Okay, so for this crazy woman, I think she might have been here in Missouri. I'm not sure. Just look up slinky cats, and the paw there was like an extra hinge in the paw, and it made it weird. You really got to look up slinky cats to understand it. And this woman, she started breeding these cats, specifically trying to create this slinky cat breed. And she started getting death threats. And good. Let's stop turning our pets into science experiments. I mean, we've already got scientists doing enough of that.
They try to do that shit though. They try to do that breeding. They're just trying to do that for the money. And then you got the ones that are really getting rankled up. The ones that get me fired up and are the ones who go out there and they adopt all the disabled animals for social media. They look for those people. They look for those animals. Oh, that guy has no eyes, or he has 2 feet missing. Oh, let's get him. We'll make him into a business. Oh, here's our cat on TikTok. Isn't he adorable? And they deliberately went and looked for him. They exploited him.
There is a lot of animal exploitation going on right now. And on one hand, they're exploiting the animal. On the other hand, I know that the dog. There's this one dog. The dog has like epilepsy or something, and you'll often see him splashing in puddles because that's what he likes. That's what he likes to do. And people from social media will send this dog presents, and the dog gets to open them up, and the dog gets to do whatever the dog wants to with them. So,
but I just think,
it is totally exploitation. You're not going to convince me that the owners of this animal isn't reaping in some benefits, also trying to get maybe some advertisements, action going on there, or some sponsorships. And oh, hey, look what my pet is eating specifically. Only this brand of blah 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 blah. Oh.
Look at I have a 3-legged cat. Look how cute is that? And I'll let them go out there, and I'll take them all over the place and everything else. And it's just like, look at we're on the boat, we're on the water, my 3-legged cat. It's like, yeah. I don't know. It really confuses me. But let's talk real quick. Let's talk about some of the couple of other movies that you've done. A couple of things you're working on, which one I thought was really fun. As soon as I saw it, I'm going like, okay, he's got to be playing a werewolf in this. You're doing a Hollywood Werewolf, and I'm waiting for that one to come out.
Okay. So that was only okay. So the way that I'm in Hollywood Werewolf is because James Balsamo, James Balsamo is the greatest promoter out there. Let's just put that on the table. That guy promotes, and when he's not promoting, he's promoting. So, he did this promotion on Facebook one day. Hey, $20, and you get a shirt, and you get your picture in the movie, and your name in the credits on the IMDb. And I wanted the shirt because I was just in a werewolf movie, and the Hollywood werewolf shirt is a fun shirt. It's got this werewolf kind of lounging back in this Cadillac car. So that's how I'm in that movie. But it's fun because I can say that I'm in a movie with I forget his name. Shit.
Andy Dick.
Oh,
Yeah, Andy Dixon is this one.
Andy Dick. Yes, I can say that I'm in a movie with Andy Dick just because my photo is in this photo book of actors, of starving actors, and they flip through it, and I'm in there, and Sheila's in there, and that's how we're in Hollywood Werewolf. It's nothing big, but it is fun, and it got me a shirt, and yeah.
Hey, as long as it gets you shirt and a couple of rounds through the craft table, right?
James is a crazy promoter. The first time I met that dude, he talked me into buying like 3 DVDs and 2 shirts and for like $20. And it's like, okay, dude. And the deal then was he was going to kill someone in a movie, and he was going to do a drawing, and he was going to kill him at Crypticon, the convention that we was at.
Right. Okay. Now,
So
did you go to Crypticon as a guest? Did you have a table, or were you
I
there?
wish. No, no. I go to Crypticon uh,
As a fan?
yes, as a fan.
Do people recognize you though from your movies from your movies that you've done, like Bone Hill or Clownado? Do people recognize you?
Oh yeah, a couple times. Even just out in public, I get recognized every now and again, and it's pretty fun. Wait, what was the question? I had something.
No, I wanted to know if you'd have you been a guest yet on a con
Oh
too?
God, I wish I could have been Crypticon. So it's kind of funny, my relationship with Crypticon. First of all, I give Crypticon total props for me being an actor and kind of even alive. The reason for that is about a week before I went to my first Crypticon and met Sheila, I kind of offed myself, and I considered it a successful suicide because I didn't come back the same person. I was broken but different, and I went to Crypticon, and Chaz's wife Gaia helped me with my costume. Chaz is the guy who owns Crypticon, and so his wife helped me. I was a broken person that first time showing up at Crypticon, and his wife helped me with getting my costume on and tight. Sheila took a picture with me in that costume before we even met, so that was fun. And I made family there that night, and they invited me back to come and work with them on Sunday because they knew I couldn't afford it. I could only afford one day, and so I chose to go Saturday. And then I made friends there overnight, went skinny dipping, and they invited us back to. They invited me back as a volunteer the next day, and that's how it all got started. I love Crypticon. With that, that's how I ended up meeting Todd, and that's why I'm an actor, because I went to that convention and I lived.
Yeah, I think I remember you mentioning that. Oh, I meant to do that and I didn't. Yeah, I remember you mentioning that to me about the suicide. Hopefully things have been going better for you since then, obviously.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was in a really, really dark place at that time, suffice to say. And
that was after your sister passed, right?
no, that was before.
Hmm.
I was just in a really bad place. Most of the time, I would consider myself hypermanic, and with that, hyper is a pendulum. If it swings towards the manic side, it can also swing towards the hyper depressed side. So I just kind of skipped right through depression and mania, and I skipped to hypermania and hyper depression. So,
are you doing much better now?
oh God, so much better. Life is fantastic. So much to look forward to.
Yeah. We want to see more Douglas Epps movies. That's what we want. What do you got coming up? I mean, I'll let that be our last question. But what do you got coming up, man? What are you prepping for? We're gonna see you in action.
like I said, I don't know if I'm going to heal in time to make this next movie. I hope I do, because I really want to go to space. We're supposed to be doing a werewolf in space movie. I think Todd has posted one of the posters for it online already. So yeah, I can talk that much about it. But that the next project is a werewolf in space movie. And how exciting is that? Here's the deal. I want to do two more movies, really.
I'd like to see. You know what I'd like to see? If I had my brothers, right? If I could combine two directors underneath one camera, man, I would love for it to be Todd Sheets on one hand and Mark Poloni on the other, and combine those two. Watching you two guys work together would be a lot of fun.
That is no doubt. I mean, seeing the cooperation go on would be pretty great.
I wish more directors, especially indie directors, would actually do that. You know, just combine. You know, I think it would be, you know, it's almost like, okay, look, we'll get a mutual script we both like. We'll both bring our 4 best actors, right? We'll bring our 4 best. You bring your 4. You bring your 4. Put them together, the best of both worlds, and unleash it together.
Okay, I've got one for you for that.
Okay.
Jekyll versus Hyde is a movie that's going to be coming out soon, from Seb Godin and Dustin Ferguson. Dustin Hubbard.
You got to work with Dustin Ferguson?
No, Dustin Hubbard. My bad. It was Dustin Hubbard. Dustin Hubbard and Seb Godin in Florida made this movie called Jekyll versus Hyde. And in it, I played Dr. Lanyon, an eccentric doctor who creates the Jekyll and Hyde serum. And here is the fun thing about that. 2 directors worked in unison. The one director also played the part of one director played Jekyll and the other director played Hyde. When the director playing Hyde wasn't when one wasn't acting, the other one was directing. And then they would swap, and the other one would act and the other one would direct. So both of the directors took the roles of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and when one wasn't in costume, he was directing. So maybe look out for that one. And I think it's in its finishing stages now. There's a lot of fun stuff happens down in Florida.
I got this story to tell you, and so I used to get Rob from Wyla. Used to send me movies. Okay, he used to send me movies to review, and I told him, just like I tell anybody that I service movies for, I sit there and say, I will be happy to review. In fact, he's the one that sent me Bone Hill Road, and I said, I can't promise you a good review, and I can't promise you a bad review, but I can promise you an honest review. And so that's what I did, right? So out of every 10 movies, I probably reviewed like maybe 2 to 3. Because some of the movies were just so bad. I was just like, why bother? I mean, all you're gonna tell me is, so I went ahead and there are some movies that he gave me that I'm just like, I gotta be honest with you, man, this movie's some dog shit. So I heard about this movie that Sebastian did called Ouija Mummy. And so I emailed Rob and I said, hey, I heard the Ouija Mummy's coming out, because I did Ouija Shark. Ouija Shark's it's a cult classic now. Brett Kelly, $212 Canadian. So I said, here you got a movie called Ouija Mummy, and I go like, I really like to see it. You know, can you send me a copy of it? And he goes, no, because all you're gonna do is just crap on it. well, someone actually gave me a copy of Ouija Mummy, directed by Sebastian. It was god awful. It was so bad. I mean, it was just so bad, and I reviewed it. I reviewed it, and I the last thing I wrote to Rob that he actually responded back to was, I said, Rob, I apologize, because when he said, you're just gonna crush it, and I said, I don't know that. I don't know that. I haven't seen it. I'll give you an honest review for it, but I don't know. It could be good. But he says, you're going to crush it. And then I watched it. I did my review and I wrote back to Rob. I says, Rob, I owe you an apology. You were right. This is shit. That's the last time I got anything from him. He's like, hell no. Yeah, that movie was.
Okay, so Ouija Mummy, that thing had a micro budget, and Seb Godin did it up in Canada, and I think it took about a weekend or a week. It was maybe 3 days. It was a pretty quick experience, but the fact that he got a movie at all with that is pretty. It's a show of skill. Seb is.
Wait a minute. He put toilet paper around his actor for mummy wrap.
Yeah. I mean, when you're poor and you still want to make the movie, the Jekyll versus Hyde is, I think it was quite a bit bigger of a budget because the camera there probably cost more than my car. Yeah, it was this huge camera that Dustin had gotten from his work or something like that, and it really. I have no fears about being in Jekyll versus Hyde because it all looked pretty good when I was there.
No, you never know. You never know. I mean, like that movie came out. Like I know he did another one called Like a Mater. That was
Todd's in that one.
Huh?
Todd's in that one.
Yeah, that like those are just growing pain movies. You see that the growing pains.
Exactly.
You learn. So I'm willing as a film watcher. I'm willing to give a director room to breathe and to grow. You always look for that.
Gotta let him decant.
Right, you gotta let them. Yeah, exactly. You gotta let them decant. You gotta let them breathe and cut their teeth on their films, and eventually it'll get better and better and better. That's what you hope for.
Yeah.
You don't. Like if I watch Jekyll versus Hyde and I see Ouija Mummy, I'll be very disappointed because it's like I don't expect that a director at that point in his career to be operating on that sort of level. You got to be moving up.
Jekyll versus Hyde is it's a huge move up from what I've seen of like Animator and Ouija Mummy. So, because like I said, there was a special effect for for Mr. Hyde, and it was a pretty nice special effect that they had made, a prosthetic. I won't give any details away, but it looks pretty good, and yeah, I would. They had a really good crew on that movie, and here's how I got involved in that movie. We was going down for Spooky Empire. And Seb knew we were coming that way, and he's like, "Hey, you want to come do this movie?" And we shot it. We asked Todd about it, and Todd's like, "Yeah, man, go ahead." And yeah, so that's how we ended up in that one. Is we would just happen to be in Florida, and my friend Johnny Meach was down there. Let me tell you about Johnny Meach. Okay. I love this guy. We've met on the East Coast, the West Coast, and he came here. The first time I met him was Clownado, and he bought the one role that. Okay, so there was one paid role. By the way, let's go back to this whole Clownado controversy. There was one paid role done for the Indiegogo. One. And people want to blow this up and make it act like everyone in the movie paid for their way into Clownado. No, one guy paid so that he could. And you know what? His movie career is probably better than mine. He's in everything. He's in one movie. Tara Reid played his wife, and so.
Is that what he does? He buys roles.
What's that?
Does he buy roles?
Yeah, he did start off buying roles, but now I think he actually earns them. See, so that's why I don't think it's bad to buy roles, is because sometimes it can actually turn into something. I recommend.
I've heard every actor I've talked to about that. I've heard nothing but negative.
Yeah, they all hate it. They all hate
Yeah.
it. I will go the other way because I think it's a great way to. I mean, you don't bring in a fan. You don't let them buy the main role. You don't let them buy. There's A roles, B roles, C roles, and like D roles. And your interactions are in those. And if you're gonna hire someone for that, Johnny Meach, all he did was he came in and he died. He didn't have any words. We didn't have him quoting Shakespeare. We didn't have him quoting anything from Titanic. We had him come in and he goddamn died at the table. And that's how paid roles should be. I mean, it gives a fan a great way to interact with a movie. It gives a person a great way to build a resume, whatever it's worth. But it really does let a fan get in there, and usually doesn't cost the whole arm and a leg. Your biggest expense is probably going to be your travel and your food and stuff like that. I think buying roles is a great thing, and it gives people great once in a lifetime potential experiences. Or like Johnny Meach, you go on and you have a fantastic freaking movie career out of it. Yeah, so
I'm down. Okay. Okay. I'm not gonna. If people want to buy a role where they come out there and they get one role, they get a line with their icon. Like
yeah.
Kane Hodder will kill you for $1,500. Okay, that's awesome. But I mean, I just heard too many times now where the person coming out, and they say, well, if I pay $1,500 to get killed by Kane Hodder, what do I get if I do 2,500? Can I play Kane Hodder's best friend? Even though that's been cast by a working actor, a producer will sit there and say, "Well, gosh, it's $2,500. That's an extra $1,000 to the budget." Yeah, okay. And so the working actor who's had to audition, who's trained, who's done countless rehearsals, that's
bullshit.
They get bumped down because
that's bullshit.
Yeah. That's the danger of pay to play. That's the danger of that. It's like if I paid $1,000 to have Kane Hodder kill me, that's one thing. But me paying $2,000 to sit down there and have take over a working actor's role, well, that's just not right.
No, I'm not down with that at all. It's the only way I see that. What do you want to say, babe?
Well, the thing about the payrolls, the perks, what happens is it goes towards the budget to be able to complete the film. And I think it's a good thing because, like you said, $2,000 to be murdered by Kane Hodder, that would be awesome.
It would be.
A lot of people are not anticipating people paying $2,000 to, just die like Johnny Meach did. But every dime that comes from those perks.
He didn't pay that much.
No, he didn't. Because we don't offer that much. We try to get enough to where our budget can be met, or enough to where we can do little extra things, sure, to make the movie better than what it would have been without all these extra things.
Well, to me, that's perfectly fine. As long as that does not include removing a working actor from a speaking role that they have auditioned for.
I'd never heard of that. That's awful, and anyone who does that is fucking scum. I mean, that's terrible. If you want to buy a role as someone in the background or someone who gets murdered, no lines, easy peasy stuff, whatever. But as for one of the main roles, no.
Yeah, I've had actors say that they had a scene partner they're going to be doing a scene. They're doing a scene with, and they'll come out, and next thing you know, the scene partner is someone who's bought the role, and they're expected to do a scene with this person, and they don't know anything what they're doing. They know nothing about getting their mark. They have no acting experience at all, and yet you're asking the other working actor to share that scene with them. And so a lot of times when you see a movie come out there, one of the things you sit there and say, well, the acting was really wooden, or the acting was non-existent. And the thing is, what happens is the established working actor gets caught up in that review, because they're not they're not singling anybody out individually. It's a blanket. It's a blanket. The movie was not very well.
Everyone gets trapped under it.
Look, Tara Reid may not be the best actor, but Tara Reid is a lot better than she doesn't deserve to get lumped into a movie where they said, well, the acting's wooden. And the movie was led by Tara Reid, and the acting was wooden. That had nothing to do with Tara Reid. If the pay to play is in fact, and they're replacing the working actors with people who pulling up the money. It's just not a good look. It's not a good look. And
Tara Reid, for a while she was working with Richard Grieco quite a bit. And I hear that Richard Grieco couldn't stand her because she would always bring an entourage of young girls with her everywhere she went. And yeah, Richard Grieco just wasn't a fan from what I heard. So
yeah, I always use her as an example. I mean, I don't, who knows what she's doing these days, but I was using her as an example. I mean, there's a lot worse out there. But yeah, I mean, some people, and it's funny too, is a lot of times that all those budgets are some of those goals are there to get the main star. I saw a producer out in Vegas was sitting there saying, well, we're going to get Tom Arnold, and it's going to cost $25,000, and that's what they're trying to raise the money for. Yeah, that's his rate. So they're trying to get the rate so they can get him out there for a day or two. And it's just like, wow, you're trying to raise $70,000 just to pay Tom Arnold $50,000 for 2 days of work. Man, that's where you need to scrap your movie, go back, raise the money legitimately, then come back and do it again. But man, you can't. I mean, it's rough. It's rough. All right, it is well past 112 minutes. Douglas, I want to thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with us again. I can promise you this: it will not be another 300 episodes before you're back.
I hope not. I enjoy talking to you, obviously, because we've gone on so long. And believe me, we could talk for hours and hours more.
Yes, we could. I'm definitely going to have you come back a lot sooner because I enjoy talking with you, and I'm glad you got some movies coming out. I hope that continues to go forward. And of course, you're always out there promoting, like I said, even movies that have been out for a little bit, you're still championing them. I love it. I absolutely love it. I respect it. And I respect you as an artist and as a friend. And I want to thank you for doing this interview with us. I'd like to thank the chat who hung out with us for this. I know we had some technical problems beforehand, but some of you stayed for the show. I appreciate that. We will be back next Monday. Next Monday, we'll be back with I'll tell you who we're going to be back with, because I want to get this name right, because I don't want to mess it up. We will be back with Jessica Dawn Willis, and she is the star of the movie called Silhouette and A Woman Under the Stage. She'll be back. She'll be with us on the 24th, Monday. On Tuesday, we'll be here with the artist Lazy Cheetah. I know had Cheetah will be meeting Lazy Cheetah. On the 27th, we'll be talking to Reverend Hort Sheffield. He's a social activist and social crusader here in Detroit, and he'll be here on the 27th. On the 29th, we have our friend Jennifer and her husband Alan on the YouTube channel Jennifer at Home. We'll be talking to them Saturday at 3 p.m. That's all I got. Head on over to Echo Zero at 10 o'clock for the Echo side, and he'll be talking to the cast of the new movie Malcolm. That will be right after this show's over with. Head on over to the Echo side, and thanks again for staying around. Stay right where you're at, Douglas, and to the chat, thanks for coming out. We will see you on Monday.
Spay neuter your pets, and if you are in a movie, promote the damn thing.
That's right. Promote that damn movie.